things that we got to get ready for next year, and I think you would all agree, is understanding a lot of the stuff Thomas was talking about. For some could be over your head, or maybe it's in the same direction, but you like to get a better understanding of it. Would you guys agree? Yeah. And because of that, it's important that you start to master your craft. I think going into 2021, it's a good time to master your craft. One is understanding all the different aspects of life insurance. When we talk about offering life insurance, can you really understand term insurance? I mean, as simple as term insurance is, Mark was going over LIMRA numbers. Term insurance was the #1 sold insurance policy in LIMRA, period, hands down. People are buying term insurance because they just want protection in uncertain times. So you need to know the different types of term policies. You got to be fluid in understanding term. You also got to understand permanent insurance, whether it be IUL, whole life, universal. Know all your different products going into next year. Also, I'd recommend annuities as a primary focus in your mind. Now, I'm going to say something to a couple of you guys because I consider this a leadership meeting. Is it okay if I talk to you as leaders? I kind of take some of the gloves off, okay? One of the ultimate goals of our company is to be acquired. That means if you're asking me a question, what would be the end game of a company, is for a company or an insurance company to potentially acquire our agency and hopefully make everyone who's in our business, who helped us build the business, become very wealthy. Would that be cool? Hello, I guess you guys are cool. I get 3 claps on that, okay? I get 3 claps, all coming from Thomas. And the reason why I say that is I think a lot of people, they focus a lot about making commission and they don't focus on acquisition. Their mindset about commission is so, they got to pay their bills, they got to make money. Look, we got to make money. I totally get it. And yes, what Mark talked about, we're very fortunate that the insurance industry was a essential business that was needed. It was also a business that people want. You'll probably, if you're not noticing people want insurance, then you're not asking enough. I would also focus on, we hear a lot of things like recruiting's a bad thing. Look, it's not an issue that we just don't want to look like a Mickey Mouse Club. That's kind of what I want to say, okay? That means if you're going to recruit. Just don't turn into a crazy. You understand what I mean by that? There's a difference between recruiting and crazy. Are you guys with me? Yes or no? You guys catching what I'm saying here? And we don't have to have a lot of people. We need the right people. Okay? We don't have to have thousands. We just need the few, the proud, that know what they're doing. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people out there right now that are sick and tired of this stuff going on out there. I'm not going to mention any company names, but they're tired of it. And they're coming this way because they're just sick of all the moving around like that, including all of us. We're probably sick of it as well. The industry has changed. The fact that people could research pretty much any product online, they could actually walk into an appointment and know more than you about your own product if you didn't study it enough. So it's important that you master your craft. During the time of a pandemic, there was a tremendous amount of time for you to study. Now, most people in the beginning, Netflix, video games, depending on what age group you're in, messing around, just enjoying their life a little bit, because I get it. The pandemic kind of let us center life. Did we all start to center a little bit more when the pandemic happened? I know I did. I would be lying if I say I didn't. Meaning that I appreciated my youngest daughter. She got accepted to USF, and she's supposed to go to get her dorm. Well, she's at home every day. Well, I think that's better. I don't know. I just like it. I like her home in school. It makes me happy when I wake up and she's right there. Yep. Right? I love my oldest daughter who graduated from college and she got a job where she don't go to work anymore. She works at home. So I like waking up and everybody's home. Anybody with me? So you turn a little crazy like yourself, like, hey, I'm home too. But one thing I love what John said earlier is you got to get up, get dressed, and get ready. The year is going to flip. In about a year, I would say a year and a half, we may go to some of a normalcy, and we're going to need to be equipped because this would have been a great time to do it. And if you didn't do it, then you're trying to catch up when everybody's moving, it'll slow you down. A couple things I want you guys to be careful for. Be careful with things that are moving too fast. I always like the philosophy of going slow to go fast. You don't got to speed through this. Learn your business, do it right, and it'll last a long time. Don't try to rush just because you want to make some big money. Focus on learning your stuff. You know, like, for example, if you're an agent right now, is your car, is your office equipped that if a client wanted to buy, you're ready to offer them a product? Does that make sense? You got to have that ready going into this year. When we look at where we are, a couple of things to keep in mind. We will grow, but we're also going to contract before we grow. That means in order for us to explode, sometimes it has to suck in and get rid of trimming the fat, if you will. We're going to have to trim some fat and then explode. Are you guys following me in what I'm saying here? I look at the few that, look, this pandemic has affected business and a lot of mindset of a lot of people. You might have lost friends that used to be with you in our business, and they're doing something else right now. They could be doing tennis shoes for all you know. Right now, it's the easiest way to make money is the fastest way they're going to go. So if a person loses their job, unfortunately, with the market and unemployment at an all-time high, then obviously people are going to do whatever they got to do to make money, and it may cloud perception of a long-term goal. What you got to keep in mind is our business is not about get rich. It's not about, you can't bring someone in here and say, oh, now that you're here, you could go full-time. You're out of your mind. You need to prepare to go full-time. You guys with me? That means you got to get mentally prepared to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is hard. The problem with most people is they want being an entrepreneur to be easy. This stuff is hard, and it ain't meant for wimps. You guys with me? It's not meant for the wimpy at heart. It's not meant for the ones that just want this to be simple. It's meant for the ones who are hungry and that can handle a time that we're in right now. It's amazing that we have agents making more money than ever right now, and some not making as much at all. So it's amazing contrast we have. I can tell you, I won't mention any names, we got agents that are literally killing it. We have an agent in the company in less than 9 months already broke $125,000 in a pandemic. Okay? So it's not that it's not happening, it may not have happened to you yet. Okay? She has no team members. She works by herself. No team, nobody to rah-rah with her. But every day she wakes up, she makes it happen. And our business is very private. We're not trying to boast things with people, but I think that's a pretty good indication during a time like this that someone could come out and just kill it like that. You guys agree? Yeah. So as we go into next year, all I ask, number one, what we're trying to do is I want you to, there's a book I'm reading. It's kind of an older book. You probably heard of a book called The Blue Ocean. You ever heard of it before? Nobody heard of it. Okay, yeah. So the whole point of John did. Of course John did, right? The Blue Ocean was based on a philosophy that when you go into the middle of an ocean, you're by yourself. You guys agree? In an island, everybody's there, meaning that the competition is all hanging around in the island. But if you could run a business where you're in the blue ocean, there is no competition because the competition is irrelevant. It doesn't matter what everybody else does on the island because you're in the ocean by yourself. So there was an example in wine. You ever heard of wine, right? Wine is better when it's aged. Would you guys agree? Yeah. So there were companies that came out that wanted to be in a blue ocean. They said, well, if we come out trying to be, an exquisite wine and it's old and it's all beautiful, then we can't compete with all the ones that have been around ahead of us. But if we could come around that the new wine is better than the old wine, we could get a whole market that doesn't care about the old wine. And so the market that they chased was a market that didn't care about age. They were more concerned about price. They chased a different agenda once it created their own blue ocean. What we're trying to do is, many of you may think your current competition, the reason why you guys allude to it all the time in your conversation is you kind of look at some of these other ABC companies and KFCs because you're too put in your mind that that's your competition. I'm sorry, that's a joke to me. They're not even in our league. It's like you're telling people that are in high school, they're going up against guys that have PhDs. You guys get what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't see it that way, then you're kind of locked into an 80s or 90s philosophy that we need to shake you out right now. Get ready. This premium finance, it's a scary word when you hear Thomas say it, but it really can separate you also. Say the word with me, premium finance. Just say it. I don't want to confuse you with it. But the reason why I say it is that one thing that Thomas has been able to do is he's been able to offer a premium finance program, and it's simple to understand if you're a client. It isn't that difficult to understand. But yet most agents, and I'd say 90% agents, they kind of go away from it because it was mostly a complicated subject and the client had to be much, a fluid market. You had like maybe $10 million in the past to even have a conversation about premium finance. But today, it doesn't have to be that way, and you can have more. They're even working on a monthly payment with them, with Kaizen as well, coming up soon, which will make a major impact with a lot of you also. But if you could put that into your vocabulary, you at least step away from the competition that you're seeming to think about in the back of your mind. So when you're recruiting people, and please recruit, don't think, oh, we're not recruiting. No, we are. Just bring the right people. Okay, I'm not saying, oh, recruiting's the enemy. No, it's not. If we didn't recruit, you wouldn't be here. Okay, you just say, I don't want to recruit anybody. Are you out of your mind? We need to recruit, but we got to get the right people. If you want to just get people, you're going to get rich joining us, don't lie to them. They got to get licensed, they got to get trained. And you'll find out early if someone's a yacker, talker, or a doer. You find out early. Just like Casey. Did Casey show that he's different than everybody else? Yes. I mean, that guy sounds like a 40-year-old kid up here. Is that right? But he's only 20 years old. He dissects, he thinks about things, he's different. He moved out on his own when he was like, what? How old are you when you moved out? 18, he was already living by himself. I know 40-year-olds still live with their mommy. You know that, right? There are people like that when they're 40 still living with mommy. So I look at that as a difference maker, that mentality. You find that, take care of them. So that's kind of where we are right now, is get better with our products. Here's a couple of things we're wanting to do. Number one, we would like to next year have a launch convention of the company. Now I'm going to put a reservation on it because I don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. So I got to put an asterisk, meaning if things are the way it is now, we'll probably have to wait until it's okay. But we got to get a better idea where we are with this. I don't know. How many of you guys don't know either? We don't know if there's going to be a vaccine by the end of the year or next year. We have no idea. And even if there is a vaccine, we don't know if it's going to get to us within a year anyway. So it may be another year that we have to deal with this challenge that we're dealing with right now. So if that's the case, then we better prepare ourselves right now. Virtual business. I want you to write this in your mind. Say digital broker. Say that with me. Digital broker. You are a digital broker going into 2020. Digital broker means that, look, you're going to be digital. Clients are going to call you. You're going to be on Zoom. You have to be able to run around on Zoom and be quick on it. Put an application in faster. If you're still struggling on Zoom, then we need to do a training, Dondi or Mark or John, on gosh dang it, how to do Zoom for dummies. You got it? And I didn't call you guys dummies. You guys know what I mean. There's a book, you know, how to do things for dummies. I'm not saying you're the dummies. But I do notice people struggle with Zoom or how to find things. Also, be able to maneuver through your back office and find your own commissions. Good news, a couple things I got to say as a company, we have two sides. When Dondi says we're best of both worlds, there's two sides. There's a broker world, and the broker world means you're a digital broker. We have a lot of other carriers, also the final expense side. Please get involved in all those. All those contracts are direct. Say the word with me, direct. Say it with me, direct. Meaning that it's great for you to have it, and your contract is directly with the insurance company. It's a great opportunity. The challenge of direct, let me tell you the challenge of direct. It's hard to be acquired when everybody's direct. Okay, let me say it again. That means if everybody's selling, say, ABC National Life, for an example, then National Life has the bid. Let's use Ameritas for an example. Nothing wrong with Ameritas. But if you are getting paid as an employee of Ameritas, how can we get acquired if our business is all sitting in Ameritas? I want you to think about it from a business perspective, because technically Ameritas could fire you and you don't have a business to sell anymore because they fired you. Are you guys following me on that? So let's say Crystal has an employment opportunity at Ameritas, which is great, but all of a sudden 2 years from now, you know what, I don't want to sell that anymore. Well, she gets terminated. Well, there goes our opportunity to be acquired because we can't count the volume that she doesn't work there anymore. You guys follow me? Yeah. So when you guys are saying, well, why doesn't Jeff talk about Ameritas so much? I'm not saying any of those companies if we can't be acquired. There's an agenda. I'm not saying don't sell it. I'm saying if you want to be part of the acquisition, then a couple of carriers have the chance for us to do it. One of them is Columbus and Fidelity. So you may hear me say that more. It's not because, there's an agenda. Well, yeah, there is. Because if we were to be acquired, those are probably the two companies that would be the way to do it. Okay? But can we offer other carriers? Yes. And I would be lying to you if I didn't say, hey, sometimes a product works with another carrier. Do it. We don't do final expense on that side. Do it. But I'm going to ask you if you can look at our preferred carriers because there's agendas. Number one is They may be able to give us, say, next year, if our numbers continue to do what it's doing, next year they could even add another 10, 15% on the outside commission to the field, which other carriers just can't touch. So if you do well enough, they can give the field a commission that's unheard of to the other carriers because we're preferred with them. You guys follow me? Yeah. Also, if there's an acquisition, that's probably where it's going to come from. It's probably going to come from those type of carriers, and that's what we need. When I talk about the broker side, don't stop doing the broker side. I don't want to discourage that. I love all the carriers, but I just want you guys to understand as a leadership team what that means. So if you're talking to me and you're on the phone with me, and say, Jeff, what are you going to represent? Look, I love all the carriers, but for Columbus and Fidelity, I just love them the most. You guys got me? And you can say, well, he seems biased. Yeah, a little bit. You know, so how come he only has a contest for Columbus? Because I like them. I don't know. They're the only one with the app. You know, the only one with the app. I mean, show me a company has an app like Columbus's app. I like the app because I don't like going on my computer. How many on your computer you get lost? Yeah. I have so many gosh dang emails, I don't even know which one to check. And then when I check, I even get lost on the emails that I check because there's so much more emails coming in. I'm like it's 5 years ago when I was looking at that email. And it's like, anybody with me on that? Like, it's getting confusing for me. So I need the damn app to tell me, this is what I need for your client. I could go, yes, I got it. I can send it right now. Done. I like that. No other carrier does it, so I don't like the other ones that much, just because of that. Okay, that's just because I'm like that. I'm like, this has got to be easier than this. And then if it's too hard, I just tell Brianna, help me. You got to so you got to understand why we look at certain things a certain way. Okay, but again, next year as we go into this, that is a huge deal. The convention, and I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm done. There's going to be a part of the company we're going to give away. And I'm talking real equity of the company. And the first batch of people were people who make $100,000 a year next year. So if you make $100,000, you're going to get an actual document, a paper, a real piece of the company. If you wait another year after that, it's going to be $250,000. Wait a year after that, it's going to be $500,000. You wait a year after that, it's going to be $1 million. So if you want to own a piece of the company next year, why is it important on the next year to give it early? Why do you think it's important to do that for a smaller number? Why would you say that? Why would you think I would go that route? What do you think, Thomas?
You got to build up the product provider support.
That's right. Build up the product provider support. Plus, find out who's in the trenches with you. Right? Who's running with us early? And I'm going to say this: 100,000. It should be an easy number to make in our business. Okay? And I say that because it's only like 4 to 5 sales a week. And if this is your full-time deal, that shouldn't be too difficult if you're doing it full-time. Right? And so I just want to get that into your mind. Next year, if you could break 6 figures, that's going to be a big deal at the convention, and you're going to get excited about it. Like, really excited about something because you're going to own it. Why would I like you to own the company if you break 6 figures? Because I don't want to lose you. How's that sound? Okay. Can I just say it to you like that? That means if you break 6 figures, we need you to grow to the next level. Okay? So I don't want you leaving for another company when you own this one. Okay, eventually, yeah, you guys, that's just common sense. So why would I let some other company try to take our team when they're a productive team that wants to grow? Well, they give them a piece of the company and have them stay here. But eventually, when it gets too many people in the first year, then the next year is going to be harder. It's not going to be the same thing it is this next year. That's why I ask of you, strategize with your team, get together, but stop playing around now. This is time to take it to another level. I'm excited to see all you guys face to face. I'm excited to be able to shake your hand and be able to hang around again and shake your hand, and you put in a sanitizer, but I shake your hand, okay? Don't get mad, I go like this and I go, okay? Trust me, I know personally I got to sanitize after I see anybody. So keep in mind, I appreciate what we're able to do here, and I thank all of you guys. But are you guys ready for us to create a blue ocean going into 2021? Are you guys ready for this or what? Hey, but thank you guys very much. Hey, congratulations to all of the award winners tonight. These are the guys that helped us build the company.